That's something's wrong. I placed your shit, Klein.
What is up, everybody? Today we're back where it all started for the Smoke Spot videos, Old World Blues. I know the order of these videos is completely unpredictable, and I'm just here to warn you that it's not gonna get any better from here. Honestly, the reason I'm doing another Old World Blues video is because I'm trying to play through 3 right now with Tales of Two Wastelands, but the unique guns in 3 are actually so bad that I'm literally just going back to New Vegas and playing through some of New Vegas to get some unique guns to go back to 3. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in watching, then you can check out my Twitch channel with the text on screen or the link in the description. But enough mandatory shilling, let's go ahead and get on to the video. Today's first spot is going to be a spot that I actually meant to put in the first video, but I accidentally forgot to read it from the script because I added it into the script last second, so it's kind of, think of it as cut content for the first Old World Blues Smoke Spot video, if you will. How fitting of any New Vegas video to have cut content, right? Specifically, it's the couch in the jukebox room. It's a nice spot. Hitting a long-ass blinker on this couch right here while you watch the Old World Blues opening in 240 feet would be fucking sweet. Although, I mean, it's your house, you could smoke in it if you want. I would say a downside to this has to be the toaster to your left just tweaking out 24/7. The toaster might unfortunately have a permanent presence in the cyber rotation here, but Muggy will walk through the room every once in a while, so you at least have Muggy, right? That just means you have 2 neurotic robots in the rotation, but at least Muggy is chill about it. Kinda. I feel like having Blind Diode Jefferson in the rotation would make up for it, though. If we've got Muggy and the jukebox in the same room, I think we can make some fun times happen. We're just not gonna invite the Biological Research Station. Fuck that guy. We don't talk about the Biological Research Station. Moving on from the jukebox room, we're gonna move over to the Cuckoo's Nest. Not really the interior, because this place is kind of a fucking nightmare, but actually the entrance to the cave over here, if you turn around, or if you just walk out of the cave, it's got an absolutely beautiful view. Admittedly, a much better view at night. It gives you a great look at the X2 tenant array, the think tank building, the Hexcrete archipelago, and the left field artillery launcher. I can't imagine the smell coming from the Cuckoo's Nest would be that great, honestly. You know, coming from behind you. Not to mention, there is actually a ton of graves here, which I didn't actually notice until I was making this video. It made me kind of sad, honestly. I was like, oh damn, the lobotomites are human enough to bury their dead, but still have been mutilated by the think tank to the point to where they've devolved to their base instincts. We're gonna move over to the Hexcrete archipelago on a less depressing note. Hexcrete archipelago is kind of a weird one to include on this list. It's really more of a landmark to look at while you smoke than a place you would go to smoke, if that makes sense. I think there's a lot of spots that you can see the Hexcrete archipelago from, like for example the sink balcony. I don't even actually really know why the Hexcrete archipelago even has a marked location in game, because the fast travel spot is actually pretty far from the largest pillars. It's pretty close to this lab right here, and there's not really anything around where you fast travel to. I don't get why it's there. I'm kind of glad it is though, because the Hexcrete pillars are really cool. Very underrated visual aspect of the DLC. Part of me wonders if they put them in to reduce really long sight lines and reduce pop-in, to make people not notice pop-in. Another reason I wanted to include Hexcrete pillars on this video is because they actually have collision if you stand on top of them for some reason. I realized that while I was making this video too, meaning that if you fly your way up top of here using console commands, you can actually stand up here, which is really surprising to me because there's genuinely no way the player was ever meant to get on top of these things. And other locations like the tippity top of the sink balcony don't have collision and you'll fall to your death from up here. It's most likely an accident that these have collision on top of them in the first place, but it's still really funny, and there's amazing views from up here, so I wanted to put them in the video. Next up on the list is kind of an obscure spot. I'd be surprised if a lot of people know this one. It's technically an unmarked location, but it's really close to a marked location. Today we're going to be looking at what I will call the Marksman Carbine Smoke Spot. Carbine? I'm sorry. This is actually right next to the Securitron deconstruction plant. I would say it's east of the deconstruction plant, but it's so close I think it'd be more accurate to say it's to the right of it instead of the east. Most people will overlook this little spot on the pipe you can access due to all the enemies in this area, and I think that's a shame because this is a really cool little unmarked location that adds a little bit more humanity to the lobotomites, similar to the graves I mentioned earlier. The strange meat gun, and ammo box paint the picture of a lobotomite who was taking pot shots at stuff and eating strange meat, and then either fell off the pipe or was shot off the pipe. I think the toolbox being named Greasy Toolbox might imply that he fell off of it because his hands were too greasy and he couldn't grab a hold of anything, you know, thus leaving his gun. But I suppose the blood stain makes it a bit harder to argue that he simply Humpty Dumptied off of this thing. Anyways, good little spot, strange meat, free gun, nice view, moving on. I'm kind of cheating including this one in the video. Damn, I've had my CRT covered up the whole video. I don't want it to get fucking nuked by, like, the light coming in from my window. I don't want it to get hurt. Okay, getting back to the video. Next up on the list, this one is kind of cheating because it's technically in the Mojave, but it's a location that's kind of added by the DLC. It's gonna be the Mojave Drive-In. It's kind of a cheater pick, honestly. Even without a crashed satellite, a drive-in is an excellent place for a smoke. For the unaware, a drive-in is an actual thing that used to be very common in America, where everyone drives their car into a field/parking lot and watches a big billboard that's getting a movie projected onto it. It's essentially an outdoor movie theater, but you can't hear or see anything, and there's bugs everywhere. I realized while writing this section that I actually attended a drive-in years ago, and I remembered, I googled what movie it was that I saw. It was March of the Penguins. I'm recalling a memory from 20 years ago. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna fucking throw up.
Not a nursing home. How many times do I gotta say this? It's a retirement community.
Anyways, I feel like the Mojave Drive-In is in maybe a little better shape than the prehistoric sundial I watched March of the Penguins on, but it's still a great spot to have a smoke. I would watch Morgan Freeman narrate over penguins here, or I would catch the later showing at 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. so you can see this cool fucking eyeball. While we're here, I'm taking an aside to talk about something in this location that's kind of been nagging at me due to recent events. I saw a YouTube comment once, I believe on like a Triangle City video, that suggested this train tunnel to the south of this location with the lottery ticket in front of it was originally supposed to be an entrance to a DLC before Obsidian fleshed out what Old World Blues was supposed to be. And I'm kind of really on board with that theory, considering the entrances to the 4 DLCs are located in the north, west, east, and then with the south with the Mojave Drive-In. It's impossible to know what could have originally been planned here, but the lottery ticket in proximity to Nipton makes me wonder if it had something to do with those. Maybe with the New Vegas beta leaks coming out, we can finally get a look at what this extremely early DLC concept could be. Or maybe a developer just got fucking bored and put a lottery ticket here for genuinely no reason. With New Vegas, it's genuinely like a 50-50 on whether something was like cut content that was gonna be hours of content, or just something a developer was fucking around with. It's extremely funny. Moving on from the drive-in, the next spot on our list is going to be the think tank room, specifically kind of the think tank quarters, but also just the whole room in general. If you can ignore the war criminals walking around like nobody's business, it's actually a pretty cool looking place. If you haven't finished the DLC, the pacification field will be up, so you can't slap some sense into them. I don't know if that would prevent you from chiefing that shit. Somebody might have to play through the DLC and let me know. This room has a nice little hue to it. You've got the occasional terrifying transmission coming in from Mobius. What's not to love? I did want to give a little bit more attention to the personal quarters of the think tank scientists, because I think not a lot of people actually go up here on the second floor and look up here. There's not a lot of crazy loot up here or anything, but I think it's definitely very interesting and worth checking out because it basically gives you the cliff notes of all the think tank characters. It basically shows you what the waterlogged brains of the think tank have degraded into. They have like 4 character traits and that's it. For example, Boris has lots of animal cages to show he's completely devoted himself to his work in animal experimentation, regardless of the consequences. Dolla's room is dedicated with teddy bears and mannequins to show off the fact that she's a freaky bitch. On second thought, maybe smoking in the personal quarters of centuries-old scientists isn't a great idea. I do think smoking in these personal quarters is a better idea than smoking in any of the Higgs Village houses. I'm sorry, I'm not sparking up in Dolla's room in Higgs Village. That is fucking scary. I'm not smoking anywhere with mannequins, bro. Y'all are crazy. If anything in that fucking house moves, the whole neighborhood is gonna meet my fucking cyberdog gun. I am gonna cheat again to include this next location because again, I mean, I guess it is a smoke spot technically, but it's gonna be the dogs playing poker room in X8. I'm including it because it's a reference to Dogs Playing Poker, which is one of my favorite series of paintings. The way these artists managed to capture the guilt of a dog's face on canvas is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyways, I think the safest spot to smoke here would be looking at the dogs through the glass, since we don't really know if the cybernetic enhancements on the cyber dogs allow them to process cannabinoids without dying from toxicity. Because if you guys don't know, dogs can actually die from THC overdose, so you do need to be careful about, you know, your pets getting into your stash. For the unaware, my outro is actually supposed to be a reference to these paintings. I think the framing and lighting could use a little bit more work, but I literally made that intro. I filmed it in like 5 minutes, literally back there. That's the CRT that I filmed it on. We're gonna move on from the dogs playing poker smoke spot before we have to talk about the no Wild Wasteland version of this location, which is really sad. Just another reason to pick Wild Wasteland. On the topic of Wild Wasteland, Magnetohydraulics Complex is also one that I thought about mentioning last time. Crazy segue, I know. I kind of decided against including Magnetohydraulics Complex last time because it's just too wet, even though it is really beautiful. I think if you've got something to wade through the water in here though, I think it would be worth it because it is an underground waterfall and that is very beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't get the Wild Wasteland reference because I haven't seen Venture Bros. Shit, I really need to watch Venture Bros. I think we all need to watch Venture Bros. I'm gonna start a campaign, hashtag let's all watch the Venture Bros. January, I don't know what day this video is gonna come out yet. What if we all went and ordered the Fortnite burger? What if we all went and ordered the Venture Bros burger at McDonald's? The last spot on our list is gonna be Ulysses Point. The best spot about Ulysses Point is that Ulysses isn't there. Okay, all jokes aside, Ulysses Point is a really fucking cool location. It's got some really cool lore implications with Christine and Ulysses, and it's just got a very good ambiance. I'm a really big fan of this location, honestly. I'm honestly a fraud for not including it in the first video. I really like the lighting in here. It's a player home, so it's got everything you need. It's got some good loot. I think hotboxing this location would be a fucking blast, again, because Ulysses isn't here to yap his fucking mouth off. On the topic of Ulysses, I will do Lonesome Road eventually. Like I said, I've just been doing like these videos as I've been playing through games, mostly through Fallout. I don't really plan on playing Lonesome Road anytime soon though, so it's honestly my least favorite DLC. But it will happen eventually. I will do Lonesome Road eventually, pinky promise. But that is pretty much going to finish up today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you all for the support. My channel has like tripled in size in the past like month and a half, so shout out to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you all watching me, supporting me. Yeah, you've made it to the end of the video, so you fuck with me already, I suppose. Thank you for watching. Check me out on other platforms if you want. If you're here already, I appreciate it. Fuck it. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. And see you next time.